Thank you for watching Bria's channel, and please subscribe. Hey guys, so I'm back with another update on my locks. I am now 11 months, so getting closer and closer to the year mark. It's actually, let's see, today is like the 20th, I think, 20 something, I don't even know, but I have less than a month actually before I'm a year, so but yeah, so with me being 11 months, it's been about 2 weeks since I did my retightening, so I'll let you guys see how my hair is holding up. I'm starting to get a little bit of new growth, but my parts, you can still kind of see them pretty good. Definitely have some length, a little bit towards the bottom, but more so towards the top. Like, I noticed that this is a lot longer, because at first they were probably like up here, they would kind of be sprouting up like that, and now they're laying down more, and I can wear my hair in the middle part. Now, I wore it in the middle part before they were this long, but I didn't really like the way it looks. Now I'm kind of like cool with it. It looks like just straight, so that's that. But yeah, that's my hair. But in honor of my 11 months, I want to talk to you guys about some things that I have learned since I've started my locks, so stay tuned. So the first thing that I've learned since I started my locks is that locks are not for everybody. The reason I say this is because it definitely is a commitment. Once you start your locks and you decide, okay, this is the hairstyle that I want, it's pretty much like no going back. Of course, you can comb them out. I know a lot of people do decide after some time that they don't want them, but like if you're serious about it, it's definitely a commitment. You decide, okay, this is the style that I want to wear for the rest of my life, and that's just not for everybody. I know when I initially started my locks, or when I was contemplating about starting my locks, I had a lot of people give me their negative opinions on locks and how I wasn't gonna want to keep them in, and just so many other opinions that they had, they were trying to project onto me, that kind of at first discouraged me, because I planned to start my hair a lot longer than when I actually did start them. Like, that don't make no sense. Hold on, let me think about that again. So basically, I'm trying to say that I wanted to start my locks before the time that I actually started them, but with all the projections that I got from everyone else and their opinions, it took me longer to start them. Like, I wanted to start them a whole year before when I actually started them, but the thing that got me to just go ahead and do it is like not worrying about what anybody else thought, because every hairstyle is not for everyone. Some people don't like locks, and even after I've started my locks, I've had people come to me like, oh, I like your comb coils, when are you gonna take them out? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep them in forever. And I'm like, oh my god, really? Like, you sure you want to never wear weave, or you never want to, you know, wear your braids? Because before I had my locks, I would always switch my hair up. Like, maybe a month to a month and a half was the longest that I was keeping any hairstyle in before I switch it up to something else. So it was really a shocker to everyone that knew me that I decided to keep it in and to keep them forever. But I said all that to say this: don't worry about what anyone else has to say about your locks. If you're someone that's starting to think about getting them, or you're going back and forth about it, it's your decision, it's your hair. And if that's something that you want, get them. Because like I said, they're not for everybody, and that's okay. People that wear locks, that's our decision, and no one else should make you go back and forth about something that's going to be in your head. So the next thing that I want to talk about that I've learned since starting my locks is that it is a time commitment. So when you first get your locks, depending on how you start them, can be sort of like shocking how your hair looks. I know when I initially got my locks, if you go back to the previous videos on my page, they were super thin. Now I had more length, but they were just so thin, and I was like, I don't know about this. But the thing is, you have to give them time. And as time has gone, I know it's only been 11 months, but within these 11 months, my hair has changed so much. Like, I look back at those pictures and it really looks just like a completely different hairstyle. Like, each month, although it may not be big changes, they're just like subtle changes, it's still a change. But looking at it from where I initially started, it's a huge change. So, and I know that as time goes on, my hair is still going to change, because I still have pieces of my hair, like as you can see, the ends and stuff, they're still really curly and they're not sealed and locked. But I have some places in my hair, like where I started with the interlocking, that they are locked, they feel completely locked. So I know eventually, as the years goes by, they're gonna lock and seal. Like, let's say this lock was like super curly, and now as you can see, it looks more like a lock. Like the hairs have kind of intertwined, and now it's kind of closing off and it's looking like a lock. So it's just a lot of different changes that happens with locks, but you have to give it time. That is the biggest thing. Time. It's not like when you normally get your hair done and you sit in a chair for a couple of hours and then it's completely done. With locks, they get better with age. All right, and the next thing that I want to talk about with locks that I've learned is that they are inexpensive, which is a great thing. I look at when I initially started with my lock journey, I was going to a loctician, and I was only paying between $50 and $75 depending on the loctician, which isn't a lot when you compare it to when I was getting the weaves. You have to pay $300 to $500 just for the hair, and then depending on where you live, I know here in Florida it's between like $125 and $275 to get your hair done nice, like sewed down, closure, and where it looks real. You're paying a lot for that. And then it's even more if you want to get curls, or if you want to get color and things like that. And doing that every month is definitely a lot more money as compared to $50 and $75 every 6 to 8 weeks. And now, and even in between when I was going to the locticians, I was doing it on my own, which is free. When I was doing the retwisting, I did have to buy locking gel or coconut oil or whatever I decided to lock my hair with at the time, the clips, and then I had a hooded dryer, or if I didn't feel like sitting under it, I had just a regular blow dry. So those are little expenses. But with the interlocking, you don't need anything but a tool. And the tool that I decided to use was a little latch hook, which is only $3. So now I only use that tool, no product, and my hair is just fine. So I'm not really spending anything on my hair. And just thinking about what I just said with how much money I was spending on weaves and different things like that, I'm saving so much money, and I can put that towards something else, and that's really good. So that's another plus with the locks, is that they are inexpensive. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about with locks that I've learned is how you envision your hair initially when you start your locks is probably not how they are going to turn out, but that's not a bad thing. So when I initially started my locks, I looked at pictures all day. I was looking at all these different people and how their hair was, a different parting, and I wanted my hair to just be so uniform and unique. So when I initially got my locks, I made sure that my parts were just completely straight. I have my middle part, and it's just like OCD patterns in my head, basically. And I wanted all of my locks to be the exact same. But as time went on, I realized that it doesn't really matter if all of your locks look the same. I had the girl from Black Ink, Duchess, as like a hair, my ideal hair goals, I guess you can say. But now it's like I want to be my own hair goals. While her locks are beautiful, they are hers, and my hair is unique to me. Like, they all look different. I have some locks that are super curly. I have other locks that are frizzy. I have some locks that are sealed. So it's just different, and then they're all different lengths. So when I initially started, they were all the same length, but as time went on, some of them started to draw up more than others. Some of them started to get fatter than others. Like this one here, super fat. Then they get skinny. That's fine. It just allowed me to evolve in terms of my mindset. Like, this is the hair that grows on my head. It doesn't matter if they're exactly the same or if they look like Duchess hair. They're beautiful. And I want everyone that's thinking of starting locks, already has locks, and has a picture of how you want them to be in your head, just forget about that. Your hair is your hair. It's not the person that you're looking at. It's good to have a goal in mind, but don't be upset if your hair isn't exactly as you picture, because it's still beautiful. Which brings me to the next thing that I've learned about vlogs is styling. Now, one misconception with locks is that when you get locks, you can't really style them like that. But that's not true. With locks, you can style your hair just as you would style your loose hair or even your weave. You can color them, you can cut them, you can curl them, and even in some cases, you can do styles that you can't do with weaves or braids or any other loose style. An example of that would be like the petal bun and those like little loops. I don't know what they're called, but when your hair gets super long, they kind of loop them back in. They kind of look like little teardrops. I don't know what they're called, but they're really, really pretty. I've never seen anyone's hair that isn't locks wear a style like the petal bun or those little loop things. And they're beautiful. So don't be discouraged when you get your locks thinking that you can't style them. Now, you can't really style them when you first get them, which is why I haven't really been wearing a lot of different styles. I do like styles that I just make up on my own, but nothing intricate yet. But as time goes on, I'm going to show you guys a lot of different styles when my hair is ready. And I think that is so cool. Just all the things that you can do with locks. I've seen so many different styles, and I have so many things that I'm going to do with my locks as I get the length and as time goes on, that it's crazy. So don't listen to any misconception with locks. Yeah, it's going to be the same locks you'll have forever, but you can style them up in different ways to where people think you have a different hairstyle. And even if they don't think it, who cares? It's your hair. But that's that with the styling aspect of it. The next thing that I want to talk about that I've learned with having locks is they foster self-acceptance and even growth. This was a big thing for me because as I've shared with you guys on the Why I Lock My Hair video, I really was very concerned with society's standard of beauty at one point in my life, and it was really hard for me to accept myself. But locks really force you to accept yourself because you're wearing your hair. It takes time, and it's not something that's going to be locked at first. You have to give it time. You have to learn to accept how you look, and I think it's beautiful. It allowed me to grow on so many levels. Now, when I look at myself, I love what I see. I'm so happy. I'm so at peace with everything. I don't worry about society's standard of beauty anymore. I know that I am the standard of beauty, and that there are so many different uh, ideas and pictures of beauty all over the world because everyone is different. No one is the same, and just because you don't look as someone else, it doesn't mean that they look better or you look worse, or you look better and they look worse. It's just people looking different, and that's okay. So with my hair that was never meant to be straight because it didn't grow out of my hair straight, grow out of my head straight, I learned to accept that my hair is meant to be curly or kinky or whatever you want to call it, and I wanted to do a style that would just totally embrace that, and that's what I came up with the locks. And now I love them. Like, I wish I would have started my hair so much longer and not waited, but it's fine. You know, it took me time to actually embrace myself and truly accept myself, and now that I'm at that point, it's great. I think maybe if I would have started before with the mindset that I had, I probably would have combed them out. Probably would have got tired of it, combed them out, had to do another set. But now I know that this is a style for me. I love them, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about them because it's my hair and it's my opinion on my hair, and that's great. So if you're gonna start locks, or if you've already started locks and kind of are going back and forth on if you should keep them, because I know sometimes they can definitely be unruly and frizzy and you don't know what to do with them at days, it's okay. It is okay. Your hair is still beautiful. If it's sticking on the top of your head, or if it won't go back, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just accept yourself and know that with time you're gonna get more length. Just have to be patient and just allow for yourself to evolve and accept yourself. Another thing, like with the whole like evolution of me accepting my hair, I've also accepted myself completely. Like before, I used to always have to have on a full face of makeup. now it's like I can go places and I don't put on a thing, and I feel just as beautiful, if not more beautiful, than I did when I had on makeup. Now, I'm not saying that I never wear makeup, because I'd be lying. I still wear it every now and then when I feel like putting it on, but it's not something that I have to do every single day as I used to. I accept myself. I know that I'm naturally beautiful. No matter what anyone else thinks, I know that I am naturally beautiful. Hair, face, and that's fine. So I don't know if other people have felt that way when they started their locks, but if so, great for you guys, because I know I feel great. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about that I've learned since I've started my locks is that they allow for a better spiritual connection. I know when I first started my locks, I didn't have the best spiritual connection, but over time, with accepting myself and doing more meditations, being out in nature, and just getting to know myself completely and accept myself completely, it has allowed for my spiritual connection to flourish. And now I'm so much more calm and at peace and happy. As I've said on my previous videos, I live in the moment and I just enjoy every single moment that I have. I look at my life as a gift, because it's easy for we as people to complain and sit around and look at what we don't have. But if you focus on everything that you do have, you'll just see that you are just so fortunate. And that's what I look at. Like, there's so much things that I could have, but who cares? I look at what I have right now and it makes me so happy. And looking at it from that perspective, when I think about what I could have, it's like, it doesn't even matter, because I'm at peace right now. I know as time goes on, things are gonna get better, but things are so great right now, and I'm just happy and grateful for each moment and everything that I have in my life. So that's just my story with the locks. I don't know if everyone else that has locks had a change in mindset and perspectives and spiritual journeys and all those things, but with me, these 11 months have just been the best. Really, like, it's just so great. I'm just so happy in my life, and I just want to share that with you guys, just so you know what's been going on with me and the lessons that I've learned with having locks for 11 months. I really appreciate everyone for taking the time out to even watch the video. If you're new to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Hang with a gypsy, hang with a gypsy, hang with a gypsy girl. Hang with a gypsy, hang with a gypsy, hang with a gypsy girl.